right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. Ay, ay, ay. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm sorry, it's been a very long day. I've been very busy, a lot of different things going on. So, quick hit. All right. So, I hope everybody's week is going well. Here we are, Wednesday already. Man, where does the time go? I'll tell you what, it goes by very, very fast. So, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those really simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue will boot you out of here with the blue wrenches because we are not going to have it. We're going to have a nice chat no matter what. And so that is the game plan. And we are going to go from there. All right. Whew. Man. It's weird. You can almost and tell me if I'm wrong, if you guys aren't feeling it kind of as well. You can almost feel it in the air now. The season is decided. Okay, now it's time for the leaves to really get going. Let's make it colder. Let's get going. It's crazy, crazy, but it is mid-September, so that's what we're looking at. All right, topic of this video is what is he thinking? And man, that's a loaded question because I'm sure most of you go, I have no idea what this man is thinking. No idea. Uh, why do you think the left is letting Biden do more speeches? You know what? That I think maybe a setup, honestly, uh, because the guy shouldn't be out there. They shouldn't be parading him out there. I mean, you listen to him talk, and it's an embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. And I know I've talked about this before, but I believe what's going on right now with our current president is nothing more than elder abuse. I think it's a horrible thing that they're doing him. Well, they've already they've already basically stated they don't want him to run again. You know, I want you guys to think about this, okay? And there's these people, and I watched an interview the other day, and somebody was asking a question. He had on something about Biden shirt on, and a lady and her husband came up, and the lady basically attacked him because of the shirt, and so he was asking this woman just some regular questions, and her hatred of Trump was so ridiculous that the arguments didn't make any sense. And when they talked about the corruption and stuff like that, and then this lady's like, "What are you talking about? What proof do you have?" And the guy's like, "The laptop, his tax returns." I mean, how much more blatant can you get? You know what I mean? It's just, but their hatred of Trump is so strong that whatever this senile individual that we have in charge right now, um, and again, strictly that's my opinion. But as a nursing professional, and have worked with the elderly a lot in my career, uh, it, it's it sickens me to what is going on right now with Biden. It really does because it's very clear that you can tell that all the elevators are not going to the top. He's having. I mean, the guy's already had a couple of strokes. I mean and so it's. I had my great grandmother was 83 when she died, and it was a series of strokes basically. So they have the first one, they have the second one, and eventually it's going to be the big one that gets them. It would not surprise me in the least, which will terrify me at the same time if it does happen. that all of a sudden that he should suddenly pass. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And I think part of the situation is being they're letting it out there. They're showing let's show how clueless this guy is because they don't want him back. Because right now, if there was an election held today, the two top people for the next election would be Trump and Biden, right? And so, I mean, it, and how can you reelect this guy? How can you in reality? Because if they reelect him, by the time he was reelected, he would be 82, and Harris would be sitting there chomping at the bit. And she's already basically stated, if you pay attention and watch anything that's going on, she says, "I'm ready to step in if need be." That should scare the crap out of all of you. Um, and if he is her running mate, or she is his running mate, if he is the candidate, I mean, anybody with hopefully half a brain in her head and not just anybody but Trump. I mean, I never forget that. Um, I'll never forget when the election was coming up, and my buddy Steve and me and Steve have known each other for 25 years, and his hatred for Trump was that strong that he was like anybody but Trump, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense at all. And when you have somebody, when you have somebody that basically told you what they were going to do if they got elected, okay? So, and this is a question, guys. This is a question. That's all this is. Pennsylvania is a state that's one of its primary industries is coal. We know that, right? There's a lot of coal miners in Pennsylvania. Their job is to get coal up and for coal to be used, and that's how they make their living. You have a candidate that basically stated, I'm going green, I'm going to get away from fossil fuels, I'm going to basically try to shut down all these type of things. He said it repeatedly, and Pennsylvania still went blue. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's just a thought. If you try to if I try to elaborate on certain facts, I'll get a strike and there'll be a problem. And so I'm not going to elaborate more. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we are now in a society where YouTube is going to censor us so hard based on opinion. It doesn't even have to be on facts. And even if it was on facts, you're still going to be censored because of the people that are calling the shots. They're going to basically say, oh, you're not allowed to say this or you're not allowed to say that. So, my question would always be in a situation like that, if I'm not allowed, yeah, he's not a Biden fan, Frank. He's not a Biden fan at all. And we talk about that, and I'm like, here you go. And I always bust his chops. I go, there's your president. He's like, he's not my president. I go, well, yeah, you said anybody but Trump, and you got exactly what you wanted. I mean, all those people, everything is higher. All these policies that are put in place are are doing nothing but hurting people. Realistically, the whole, that they pushed through Congress, and had all that going on. So, a great example would be, and this is basically, if you think about it, I mean, let's go reality 101, right? So here in West Virginia, uh, Meechin held everything up for the longest time. And so they said to him, hey, listen, if you go along with this and get this passed, we'll approve the pipeline for West Virginia. So he went, okay. So he goes along with it. They pass the thing. And then they go back and they say, yeah, no, we're not going to allow the pipeline now. That's it in a nutshell. It's lies, it's manipulation. It is just that this is what happens constantly, and I think that's going to end up costing Meechin. I don't think you'll see him being in charge for next, like when his next election comes up. I think he'll be out. That's just, that's my take here, because people are sick of it. People are tired of it. People are, when you have the day the guy is elected president or signed into office, the first thing he does is he kills the pipeline deal, which killed what 20,000 jobs. And I'm not talking about uh, pushing a shopping cart type of jobs. We're talking about high paying jobs that really hurt a lot of people. Uh, yeah, it would be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. And it would not shock me if Trump gets reelected. And I'm going to say something again. And I said this before, and we're going to go back, not even just to the last election, but the election before that. And the two candidates were Hillary Clinton and Trump to start with. And I said to somebody then, I said, this is the best choices that they could come up with. Did that make sense to a lot of people? These are two of the best choices. This is what they could come up with. What do we got? 281 in the chat, guys. We're at 89 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Really does make a big difference with the algorithm, so the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So okay, real quick, I wanted to mention this real quick. Somebody sent me an email the other day after my last live stream about possibly joining what we're doing down here in West Virginia and becoming part of the group. That email somehow got deleted. So if they could send that again, and you'll know who you are, but I can't get back to you because it's gone. That email is just gone. So needs to be an age cutoff for these players are in their 70s and older. Well, it's not even a matter of an age cutoff. How can any rational person, and again, this is a question, guys. Hey, Asif, the economy is only slightly healthier than Uncle Joe. We have printed more money in the last 3 years than any of the history of this country. Crazy days. Yeah, and that's going to come back to bite us in the butt too, Asif. That's going to come back to bite us in the butt big time. But what was I going to say? Oh, I had a point I was going to make, and it's absolutely gone. But here's something to think about, okay? And I don't know if you guys just saw this, and this is why my title is what is. What's he thinking? Oh, the age cutoff. Okay, we'll talk about that. How? Yeah, it happens. Trust me. Brain farts. It's even with if they did an age cutoff and they weren't able to continue on. There's some people that are still very, very sharp, very, very sharp as they get older. Okay, and they're trying to say that Biden is perfectly fine, that the people in charge and they're looking at him and they're saying, "Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with this guy." I mean, you don't need to be a layman to realize that there is something seriously wrong with this guy. Seriously wrong with this guy. Um, yeah, that's actually what I was going to talk about, JJ. So the title of this video was "What was he thinking?" Right now, Biden. So there's been $6 billion on hold for Iran. You know, they froze it for a long time here because of the whole nuclear program, which has never changed. Iran continues to try to make a nuclear weapon. Right? We all know that. It's not a surprise. There's been a couple of accidents that could Israel have been behind those accidents where things happened? Probably wouldn't shock me because Iran's most likely target with a nuclear weapon would be Israel, right? I mean, that's not anything that's a shock as well. But right now, and I want you to think about this: does this make any sense? And who's the person to put this in play? I have no idea. So we're talking about doing a prisoner exchange where we're given like 5 or 6 of their prisoner, or which that we've held from Iran, and they're going to give us 5 or 6 Americans, and then we're going to free up that $6 billion just to give back to Iran. Does that make any sense? If you're going to do a prisoner exchange, all right, do the prisoner exchange. But why does the 6 billion have to be part of that? Now, for being 100% honest, who are we, right? The United States of America. Who are we to tie up anybody else's money anyway? I mean, that's another whole question. That's another whole question. But it's Iran is still right on that same excuse me, on that same path. They're planning on getting a nuclear weapon, and they've openly stated they want to bomb the crap out of Israel. They've talked about it. It's not like it's a surprise in any way, shape, or form. So we're giving them $6 billion back. Well, that'll help, right? You need an infusion of cash to get those projects going. Well, there it is. It's amazing to me. Why not? Here's a weird concept. I know this is bizarre to say this. Whatever happened with following through what you say? Now, I'm not saying we are in the right for freezing any country's money, and that's not what I'm saying. And I'm not a rah 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 go US and we're the best ones and everything like that. I'm not saying that either. But what I am saying is you blocked this money going there for a reason, and now all of a sudden you want to change it, and say, okay, yeah, we're going to give it back, and they're going to give us back a couple of Americans. Oh, well, yes, wait a minute, it's an election year coming up, and it looks really good for the president if he made a deal and he freed Americans. Well, there's still Americans held in Russia, right? What about the rest of the ones over there? Oh, but we got Brittany Griner back. Thank God for that. So we gave up, this high profile criminal back to Russia for Brittany Griner. Wasn't that a great deal, right? The insanity and the stupidity will never cease to amaze me. Never cease to amaze me. And maybe they should give that money to Hawaii. I saw some things in that situation over there really, really disturbing. Um, I don't think she's bashing the U.S. anymore. She probably might like it here now after spending time over there and dealing with the situation over there. So yeah, I really she's kept pretty much a low profile since then. Hey, Asif, Back to the Future. Doc Brown did a lot more or less money with the uranium. Yeah, right. Did a lot more with less money. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Thank you very much for the donation. Thank you for the statement. That's too funny. I don't know. Like I said, I look at our leadership right now of this country, and the whole. So this is something else, okay? And I'm sure that anybody out there that is also ex-military is going, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? So there is a captain in the Army that is identifying as non-binary, right? So the Army has decided that yes, they have approved for this individual to dress in female uniforms and wear makeup. This is somebody, folks, and I want you to think about this, okay? This is somebody that holds some serious rank. Captain is some serious rank in making decisions um, over people. Really? Really? And as a soldier, I'm supposed to go, oh, yeah, I'm going to follow what? What is it? Him, her, they, them? You know, listen, be whoever you want to be, do whatever you got to do, okay? And I could care less. But I don't have to feed into your delusion. I don't. No, there's no way anybody is going to tell me that I have to feed into your delusion. It's insanity. it's just insanity. And this whole woke nonsense. Um, I don't know. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And what do you think? So I want you to think what that does. Something like that. What that does for troop morale. What do you think that does when our leaders, right? You're a sergeant. Well, think about it. You're a first sergeant. You've been in the military for 25 years, right? You're master sergeant, whatever. You're really well up there as an enlisted man rank. And now this individual comes along and gets to tell you what to do. That's disgusting, and it's a shame. So I don't know. It makes no sense to me. All this stuff that's going on. I mean, when I was the one guy, it was at a school board meeting, and he was reading in this book, and you can't, like I said, guys, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. Guys, reading out of this book at a school board meeting, and it's very graphic. And this is what's being taught to our children. It's what's being taught to our children. And somebody at the meeting says, "Could you please stop? That's very offensive. Um, you know, we don't need to hear that." Well, this is all adults at this meeting. These people, these school board, this is the one that approved this crap, this garbage, you know. And then they're going to take out other books that doesn't fit whatever agenda is out there. I mean, yeah, we're being laughed at by other nations. I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. It's insanity. The whole thing is insanity. And I look at it and I just, sitting back, I'm like, what is going on? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But real quick too, I want to remind everybody if there's any interruption with the stream, if I have any, I've been having internet issues, so I just wanted to put that out here while I was thinking about it. That I'll get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully, we don't have, you know, we don't have any issues. So I'm disgusted with the military. I don't get it either, man. JJ, I don't get it either. Not the military I served in, I can tell you that. And in the military I served in was not the military that my stepfather served in. I'm gonna tell you a story with my stepfather, okay? Uh, Larry's still kicking. Larry's 86 years old, and good for him. I mean, he's or 87 now. He's 87. Um, he is, and he's still going, which is just wild. But when he went into the military, he went in, and he was a scrapper. He didn't take no crap. I mean, he used to fight for fun. I mean, he was no joke. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he was stocky, and he didn't take no crap. Well, back then, one of the drill sergeants, right, invited him to go behind the barracks, and they did, and they got at it. And I think Larry gave him better than what he got. So those type of things now they don't happen anymore. They don't happen anymore because people we got to be sensitive and we got to think about their feelings. These young men and women that we are training, we're putting out there in combat. All right, they need to be able to handle a little adversity, a little stress, and those type of things. They have to. They have to. And so coddling them and holding their hands and having safe spaces and somebody had told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, and if somebody could clarify this, I would be like, it's complete insanity to me that they are allowed now to have their cell phones during basic training. Is that true? Could somebody clarify for that for me? Because I heard that and I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Yeah, there's no safe spaces in a war zone. That's for sure, Asif. You are right. You are right about that. I heard they hold up cards to get into timeout. That's ridiculous. Yes, cell phones are allowed. That's insanity. So I went in the military right out of high school. You know, you were cut off. There was no phone calls. and unless it was like that once. I don't remember if we had access to phones on Sundays. I think Sundays were pretty chill days. You were able to even during basic training, it was a day where you did your laundry or you went to church and all those type of things. But I don't remember. I don't think we had access to the phones even. I don't remember. I because I don't remember ever making a phone call on a Sunday. So I don't think we even had a phone that we were able to. We had a payphone on Sundays in 1996. Okay, so yeah, old Mutt, you were in during basic training. Did you have access to the payphones when you were in? Because you're right around, you're not that far off from when I went in. Because I went in well, you were a little earlier, but I went in '84. Yeah, there was no cell phones back then, but we didn't have access. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, I didn't think so because we didn't have access to phones either during basic. You were in training, and when you were done with basic training, that's when you called your family. So you were, 8 weeks of intense training and reshaping. Yeah, no phone privileges. Yeah, I was just gonna say, but yeah, even Gomer Pyle couldn't call Andy Griffith. Oh my God, that's funny. But yeah, I can't even believe that they go, oh yeah, it's okay for you to have your phones now. So what are they calling home and crying? Yeah, just pen and paper. Yeah, I wrote so many letters. Yeah, I can remember that. I wrote so many letters. We would stay up at night, guys. Okay, so lights out would be at a certain time, and you didn't have to go to bed, but the lights were out. So we would all have flashlights, and you would sit in your bunk, and you'd have your covers over your head so you could see like the glow. All right, and you would have your pen and paper, and you would write you would write mom or your girlfriend or whoever, your wife, whoever you were writing to. That's when you wrote the letters. 8 weeks. I had over 12 weeks. Arm Marine Corps, I think, is 12 weeks. Army's 8 weeks. Air Force is 8 weeks, and I think Navy's 8 weeks as well. But the Air Force, their basic was, from what I understood, and I don't know because obviously I wasn't in the Air Force, but I heard that the Air Force basic training was 13 weeks for the Marines. Okay. Yep. Thanks. I appreciate that. Um, but I know that the Air Force had the easiest basic, is what they said. Then there was a Navy, then it was the Army, and the Marine Corps was definitely the hardest basic training. Probably still is the hardest basic training. So I mean, I will give them that. No trying to be disrespectful or and none of that stuff. I mean, but it was a different mindset. There was nobody holding your hands, and people washed out. People couldn't hack it. And why did they do that, folks? I want you to think about this. Why was that done? Because under stress, you need to have people that are going to be able to handle it. You're going to need to have people that can handle it. There's no mollycoddling in a combat situation. Nobody's holding your hand. And the guy next to you, you better know that you can count on him. You need to count on him, you know? Not that he's going to hold up the card. I need a timeout. I can't handle this. That's nonsense. It's nonsense. I don't know. Like I said, it's just oh, very tough drill sergeants. Discipline. You got swore at. You got dogged out. We didn't get physically assaulted. I will tell you that. When I went in, the drill sergeants did not physically assault us, but they got in your face and they cursed you up and down. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Uh, Scotty won't beam you out of the front line. Yeah, exactly, Asif. Exactly. Yeah, the military's nuts now, Brad. It's not woke now. It's nuts now because we need these guys and ladies trained. You know, we need them trained the right way. We had 16 weeks of basics and 6 weeks of AIT. 12 Bravo. Yeah, we had we did we did the 8 weeks because I was at Leninwood in Missouri for both basic and AIT. So when other people, and a lot of the guys in the unit, same thing. We never even moved. We went through our basic training, got done with that. I'll tell you a quick story. What happened with that? So we get done with basic, right, and we started AIT, and we're all off to our different things for AIT, right? We're going to our whatever our MOS is, and we're going for that training. So we're all feeling proud, We're like, we're done with basic, man. This is going to get better now. This is going to be great. No issues, right? So we go off and we get back, and the drills had trashed the barracks, absolutely trashed it. Okay, and one guy had left his wall locker open, and man, they made a mess of that one. You don't leave the wall locker open. Okay, that's like a no. You lock it up. So we get back, and they get us back outside, and I'll never forget this. I'll never, because psychologically it was such a mind f. Okay. um I did brag. I was down at Bragg after that was permanent party, Carol. Basic and AIT was out in Leonardwood in Missouri. So they get us all outside, and they're like, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And it was so defeating. I mean, I will never, ever, ever forget that. I was like, are you kidding me? 8 more weeks of this crap? You know, but it was, again, it was psychological. They were messing with us. Now they did ease up on us. They eased up on us big time, and it got much more relaxed. But they were just letting us know. They were just letting us know. Yeah, we're still in charge. We're still in charge. But that's part of it's a game. It's psychological so much, um, that it was it was definitely a different situation. So, but I heard, and again, I don't know if it's true. I heard they don't even do a 15-mile road march anymore. Any of you younger guys that were in the army, did they do a 15-mile road march during basic training? Because that's one of the things that we did. Was in basic training there was a 15-mile road, and that's full packed out gear, folks. Your ruck, carrying your weapon. You know, this one said we did 12. Okay, but Tim says, "Yep, fully loaded." Oh yeah, yep. And here was hindsight that I didn't see coming down the road, right? So everybody knows I'm a nurse. So we're in basic training, and you go through your different trainings that you're going through, right? Now, again, I told you guys I was 142 pounds when I went into the army. It's 6 foot tall, 142 pounds. You know, um, so what ended up happening was the one drill sergeant comes into the room, and he said, "Who's already done the first aid course?" And a bunch of us raised our hands, right? Because some of us had done it and some of us hadn't. Me, hands me the medic box. Carry this wherever you go now. And I'm thinking, holy crap, man! I'm a little bitty guy. I'm 142 pounds. I might have been tall, but there was nothing to me. And now on top of everything else, wherever we went, I had to carry that stupid medic bag or box. It was an old ammo can, with the white or the red cross on. It's white with the red cross, and anybody gets hurt, who's got the medic box? And you had to run with the medic box. Oh, I was just like, no, just like no. But I did, but my mouth always, it was always something. But when we did our 50-mile road march, I remember saying to that drill sergeant, he ended up being pretty cool. He ended up being a pretty cool drill sergeant. I said to him, I said, Sergeant, I said, do I have to carry the medic box the whole way on the road march? And he goes, okay, guys, listen up. He goes, when he passes that box back to the next guy, you have to take it, right? So I carried it for the first few miles, and 4 or 5 miles, and then man, it came off and passed it back. That was the end of that. That's a lot of extra weight. So thinking back, oh my God, those memories, so funny, so funny. But yeah, it's just one of those things. One of those things. It's a whole different thing now. You know, whole different thing. and not for the better, because it's not preparing them. You know, it's not preparing them, and that does a disservice, honestly, to the young men and women doing it now. It really does a disservice. And this whole other crap, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He wanted me to build some muscle. Well, like I told you guys, I went at 142, and at the end of basic training, I was at 149. And it was people lost weight during basic; they didn't gain weight. So, how can a person have a mindset for war? Oh, Brad, you would be surprised. When we came out, and I can't speak for other people, I can speak for myself. Okay, they break you down psychologically, mentally, the whole 9 yards, and then they build you back up. When you come out of basic training, back when I went in, and probably the men before I went in as well, when you got done with basic and your AIT, if they had said, go in that direction and kill everybody in that direction, you wouldn't even think about it. You wouldn't even hesitate. You would just do it. That was the mindset. You were reprogrammed. I'm telling you, it's exactly how it goes. Um, it's exactly how it goes. It. I'm sure you guys, some of you will know what I'm talking about when I say this. Walking in a military manner. Okay, I've been out of the service for a long time now, a long time, and I've had people come up to me that didn't know me from Adam, didn't know me at all, and said to me, "You're ex-military, aren't you?" And I go, "Yeah." I said, "How did you know?" The way you carry yourself, the way that you act, and the way that you walk. You will always, the rest of your life, if you've been in the military and you went through your basic and your AIT, you will always walk in a military manner. It doesn't leave. It has been so ingrained, left, right or left. And you, on that cue, you left. Every time it says left, your left foot is hitting the ground. Anytime it says right, your right foot's hitting the ground. So those cadences, they reprogram you, and it just changes the way you walk and the way you carry your arms, um, attitude, right? The way that you carry yourself. You carry yourself with confidence. You look people in the eye. It's I can't explain it to somebody that hasn't been through it and doesn't know. I really can't explain it to you because you'll never get it. It's just like people that don't ride motorcycles; they'll never get it. It's a certain thing, and that's why when we get out now, when we're in the military, guys, I'll tell you right now, every branch is against the other branch. There's going to be fights. There's going to be, adversity because it's the other branch. Okay. So, the Army guys and the Navy guys, if you put them both in the bar, there's going to be a fight, and it's going to be the Army against the Navy, or the Army against the Marines, or whoever. Okay. Uh, you know, that's just the way it is now. But when we get out, that brotherhood and that sisterhood of being ex-military and having served the country, it's always, always there, and it's a mutual respect. And that's you know, Marines wanted to beat our, yeah, yeah, so to speak. I don't get it. It was just the way it was. It's that rivalry, you know. We used to chant, "Don't feel sad, don't feel blue." My recruiter screwed me too. Oh my god, I like that. Well, I could share some cadences that I sang back in the day, but it's not family friendly, so I won't share them. I won't share them on here. But yeah, it's just you know it changes you. It does, and I don't care who you are. You look at it this way, folks. What is happening right now in our country? And let's think about this, right? We take our tender, sweet children that we love to death, and we send them off to the indoctrination camp called school, right? If it wasn't bad enough of what they're teaching our kids at the high school level, then some of us sent our kids off to college. which is the Liberal Learning Center, realistically. And I just saw, and I know I mentioned this one before, and I just saw it was it was a sweet looking girl, and it showed the girl, and she went off to college, and then it showed her like 2 years later or 3 years later after being in college, and she was like radicalized and whacked out haircut and different hair colors, and all the piercings, and you know just and all that is realistically what is all that? Pay attention to me. That's all that is. Pay attention to me. And I was able to tour Fort Hood, 4th ID. The squadron commander's name was Colonel Clitoris. Oh my God. I could not keep a straight face when I was introduced. Wow. Yeah, I could imagine that would definitely do it. That would definitely do it. But yeah, it's just like I said, the mindset is it's different. But our kids are being indoctrinated, and we send them off to have it done to them. You know, and that's what I don't get either. I don't get either. And I think that if there are strong role models at home, and I think it makes a difference. I really do think it makes a difference. You know, I mean, Heather never, went off that deep end, into the mindset. I mean, she listens to me. She don't always agree with what I say, but I would want her to have her own mind. I would want her to always have her own mind. So, what are we at? 348 in the chat. We're at 197 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Let's set a goal of 300. Let's try it. Let's do that just because why not, right? So let's set a goal for 300 thumbs up. We're at 101 right now, so we need 99 more thumbs up to get where we want to go. Ed, do you think homeschool is better since the world is going nuts? I absolutely do now. I do. I think homeschool is absolutely probably the better way to go, because I want you to think about this. If you have a child and your child is a free thinker, right? And I can always use Eddie is a great example for this, because Eddie didn't fit inside the box they wanted to put Eddie in. All right, so we'll use Eddie in this situation, okay? Um, Eddie flew by his own kite. I mean, Eddie did his own thing. Now, it wasn't always right. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not justifying his behavior in a lot of instances, in a lot of ways. But had they listened to me, really listened to me, it would have been easier for them in the long run. But the system is so whacked and it's so nuts now. But anyway, they want kids to fit in these boxes. And if the kids don't fit into those boxes, they'll drum them out. They'll get them out of there because they won't play the game, I guess is the right word. I'm going to tell you, when I was in high school, now I wasn't stupid. I was never a stupid person. I just wouldn't do the work because I didn't care. And there was nothing that they could do that would make me do it. They couldn't punish me because I wouldn't allow, I should say I wouldn't allow it. I just wouldn't play the game. Like they started this whole thing with in-school suspension, and some of you may know it. So, like, if they would suspend somebody, I always looked at suspension as a vacation. I was like, oh no, I can't go to school for a week. Oh no, too bad, right? Um, I didn't care. It didn't make no difference to me. I give me a week off. I'll take a week off. I have no problem with it. But what they came up with was in-school suspension. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go to it. I never did. I just I don't. I'm not. I'm very stubborn, very strong-willed, and they couldn't break me in that aspect. They couldn't break me in that aspect. I wouldn't play that game. I wouldn't play that game. So we called it the box. Yeah, yeah. It was ridiculous. And you're supposed to sit in this cubicle for the whole school day and not talk. And They, you're anybody else that's in there, you're not allowed to engage with them. You ain't doing that to me. I was like, no, I ain't doing that. It's just like I said, it's all designed to break you. Is what it is. It's designed to break you. So, oh, study hall detention. It was so. I don't like I said. I just all of it was just it was nuts. And like I said, I was one of those kids. They didn't know what to do with me. They didn't and I know I've told this story before, and I'll just share it again. We're gonna do egg count in just a second here, too, guys. Just give me 1 second. I remember one time I had one of my teachers ask me. They said, Ed, did you do your homework? And I went, no. They go, are you going to do it? And I went, no. Well, what if we call your mother? And I laughed. I laughed at the teacher. I said, go ahead. She ain't going to make me do it either. What do you do with a kid like that? What do you do with a kid like that? So they just pass me on. Every year they pass me on. You know, I never got in trouble in school. I got in trouble fighting. I got fighting in school. Yeah, well, I had my share of interesting things. I will tell. I'll have to tell you some stories about that at some point. But like I said, it was a different. It was just a different thing then. All right. So I know. Hello, baby. I know. Yes. I see you. I see you. Excuse me. No, don't be pawing on me. All right. Let's go ahead and do egg count. Excuse me. I'm talking. Um, yes or no? Yes or no for Miss Thickneck? And how many eggs today? Also, guys, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. We're 75 away. Hell, okay, stop. Now you got to get down. We're 75 away from our goal of 300 thumbs up. So, let's see if we can get that goal. She's very vocal, very, very vocal. So I'll give you guys some time to get your guesses in here. Oh, she's a trip on video. She is absolutely a trip on video. In the early days, mid 60s, we carried our guns to school and went hunting at lunch. Oh, yeah, I can remember the gun racks in the back of cars and trucks. And nobody blinked an eye. It was not a big deal. And that's another indoctrination, too, to get kids not, they don't ever have to worry about taking away our guns, folks. I want you to think about this for a second. They can just indoctrinate our children not to like guns, and that they will put in their mind how guns are bad and all this type of stuff. So they'll let you keep your guns, and then when you die down the road, a couple generations down the road, they're not going to want them. They're going to turn them in. Oh, I don't want anything to do with that, So they'll turn them in, and that'll be it. So, all right, I had a feeling that this was going to happen tonight. Nobody has the right answer. Nobody has the right answer. So I will give you all one more chance. And usually I only do this on the private live stream that you get a second guess. But I'll let you guys get your second guesses in here. And we will go from there. So give you a moment to get your guesses in, and I will let you know. Hey, stop. I even when I saw the egg count, when Heather sent me the egg count, I'm like, yeah, no one's getting that tonight. And you didn't. All right. So if you had the same exact guess as Bubba One with one egg today, and yes for Miss Thickneck. Now, who would have guessed that, right? That one egg today and Miss Thickneck would be the one laying that egg. Crazy. Well, I know it's been kind of rainy up there and the weather's kind of changing. So, but yeah, that was freeloaders. Exactly. It's stew pot time. Stew pot time is coming up at the homestead in New York. Well, the problem is too. They were. I had told them introduce new birds this year. Get new birds. You need some younger birds in there. And they ended up not doing it. They just got a new rooster. Oh, I got to show you guys something. Hold on a second. Let me. Can you guys see that okay? Right? That is going to be the newest member at the homestead in New York, and it's a he. He's a little gray kitten, and his name will be Loki. So, yeah, I had a friend of mine. She was coming home, and she said, "Well, my husband will let me keep one, and I want to keep this one, but will you guys take the other one?" And I know my daughter. I said, "Yeah, we'll take it." So I sent a picture to Heather, and she was like, so she goes, "Okay." She goes, "Is this to me to add to my brood here?" She goes, Are you gonna take it?" And I said, "Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it there." And I already know what's gonna happen, folks. I already know what's gonna happen. Okay, just so you know too. I said, but when I come home the next time, I said we'll go and we'll see how he responds to me, and maybe I'll take him back down to West Virginia with me. But I know what's going to happen. She's going to bond with that kitten because she's going to get it Sunday. It's coming Sunday, and so by the time I get up there, she's going to be like, "No, you can't have him. He's staying here." Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Yeah, Loki is the trickster, the trickster in Norse mythology. Yep. There's a theme going on here, folks. Okay. Uh, Raven's Nest, the Wolf's Lair. Yeah. So Hela, she's named after a Norse god. So and then the new rooster that they have up there, they call him Ragnar. He's so the new rooster's Ragnar. So I've had a Thor in the past. I've had an Odin in the past, dog wise. And I've had a Freya in the past, dog wise. Uh, Freya was a shepherd. Odin and Thor were Rottweilers. So would I get more of those, and do that again? Enough time has passed that I could, that I could have another Thor and another Odin, and but yeah, I love the mythology. I think it's really cool. So I mean, I would have another Freya now. It's been a long time since we had Freya, so but yeah, it's definitely. Oh, I got to tell you what happened here too, and I just dealt with this yesterday. So when I have to leave, Hella gets crated in her crate outside. She's got the doghouse in the crate, so she's got enough room. She can get in and out of the water. I have the thing tarped on three sides, so the top is tarped. So if it's raining or snowing, she's not going to get wet. The one tarp is like a windshield, and then the other one is the same type of thing, right? So I was watching a lot of activity with bees, and I was like, and it was yellow jackets. So I was like, hmm. So I went into her pen area, and on the back side, like her doghouse sits this way, and on the back side of the doghouse near the fence, there was a ground nest for yellow jackets, and I'm like, oh no, that ain't gonna go. That's not gonna go. So what I did is I actually went and got a can of wasp killer, but I did this in two stages. So I suited up first. I'm not screwing around. Suited up first. Got a cup, good sized cup of gasoline, and I went in and I pulled the dog house aside. And as soon as I did that, man, they were there. There was a ton of them. And I took that gas cup and with the gas and I poured that into the hole, right directly into their hole first. Then I came out of there, got the can of wasp spray, and hit them with the wasp spray. And this is how you destroy the military from within. This is what the Biden administration is doing. They are traitors to our country. Robert Peters, thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for the statement. I don't disagree with what you said at all. It is disgusting what is happening. It is disgusting what is happening right now. But yeah, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So it sickens me, honestly, because I love my country. Absolutely love my country. But what's going on is just a tragedy right now. So, but anyway, going back to, so I hit the bees that were in the air with the spray. And then today I saw one wasp, one. And so I'm pretty sure that the rest of them are done. But there can be up to 500 ground drilling bees. It's called. We called our bug guy to get rid of them. Well, like I said, you put gas right down into those holes, they're done. That'll kill them. So, but yeah, it all started with that Clinton with "Don't Ask, Don't Tell." I hear you. Yeah, but and I will tell you this, guys, right now, Okie Forge, there have been gays and lesbians, serving in the military, homosexuals and lesbians, okay, serving in the military forever. They just couldn't come out openly with it, and so so that's been going on forever and a day, going on forever and a day. But and I'm highly allergic to wasps. I've had several battles with wasps this year. Been to the ER 3 times already. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I will tell you what. Bees this year have been bad, really, really bad this year. Um, you know, we had that wasp nest up in the tree. We got rid of it, and it came back. So, but yeah, the yellow jackets are the ground ones. They're miserable. They are miserable. So, yes, prior to Clinton, if they found out that you were gay, they would discharge you. Yep, you're right. You're right, Okie Forge. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot. Um, there wasn't a lot in there that were not drummed out. If they kept it low profile, it happens. I mean, it's just and it's so funny. It's like I had to laugh. I saw a statistic, and this to me again, guys. Kingdom. We are part of the animal kingdom. All right, and I don't care what anybody says. You can say whatever you want to say. I've seen it to be true. You know, in the animal kingdom, 70% heterosexual, 20% bisexual, 10% homosexual. All right. So, as part of the animal kingdom, that means one out of every, well, 3 out of every 10 people that you meet are either bisexual or homosexual. Now, back in the day, if you were bisexual or homosexual, it was not, you didn't come out and admit it and you didn't talk about it. If you did it, it was done down in low key, whatever the case may be. Okay. And they were talking about, well, in 19 whatever, this percentage of the population came out as either gay or bisexual, whatever. And they were talking about like now like almost 30% are coming out as gay or lesbian or non-binary, whatever titles that they have for it now, right? Or transgender or whatever the case may be. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. The only thing different now, as opposed to 20, 30, 40 years ago, it's okay to talk about it now. They feel more comfortable uh, coming out and saying, yes, I'm this or I'm that. I mean, and that's the only difference. Uh, Before, back in the day, I mean, I'm going to tell you a true story. Okay. So I was doing my head trauma rotation in nursing school. All right. And there was a guy that was in there, little bitty guy, little bitty Hispanic man that had gotten just beat down like you would not believe. All right. Had brain trauma, and his partner was there every single day for him, took care of him, doted on him, made sure that, that he was well taken care of and the whole thing. And the reason that this man got beat down like he did was because he was gay and he was like a cross dresser or, you know, a drag queen or whatever like that. And he was targeted, and these bullies beat this man up so badly that he had a brain injury. And so this is how the rest of his life, and he had no clue. I mean, there was nothing. He was, you know, in a state where he would never be able to, you know, talk about it. You know what I mean? But you know, but that's what happened back then. There was a lot of people that targeted, and it was, and I hate to say this, but it was true. It was okay to go and beat up on homosexuals. It was like uh, police and that they turned the other, you know, they looked the other way when that type of thing happened. You know, obviously not anymore. Definitely not anymore. But that's a reality, folks. That is a reality, and it happened. You know, and I saw that, and like I said, in his partner, and I had a conversation with his partner. I remember those days. I knew a kid in high school that was killed because he was gay. Yeah, and it's so sad. If it doesn't if it doesn't hurt you, and this is my thing, guys, okay? If it doesn't, what do you care? What do you care what anybody else does? If it doesn't affect you, as long as, okay, as long as you're not trying to jam it down my throat, um, you know, I don't care what you do. And here's the thing that I have found in my life, okay? This is what I found in my life, and I found it to be 100% true. Um, your biggest homophobes, the people that scream the loudest, and I hate homosexuals, and they're terrible, and they're this, they're that, the other thing, those were closet cases because they hated that part about themselves so much. Maybe they never acted on it, maybe they never did, but they hated that part about themselves so much that they like were over the top. I used to be like, I knew a guy that was like that, and I would be like, dude, why do you get? Just don't be around him. Don't associate with him if you don't like it, you know. But yeah, projection, Tim. You're exactly right. You know what I mean? Exactly right. So I just, like I said, I'm so tired of things being pushed in my face. Do you? I do me. We'll respect each other as men and women. Whatever you want to do with another consenting adult, have at it. Have a great time. But I don't care to be involved. So yeah, exactly, Brad. And that's what I just said. I don't like them shoving it in my face either. Before we do the shout outs, I'm going to ask again for another thumbs up. We are 42 away from 300. So the goal is 300 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Again, it really makes a big difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction we get, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you again ahead of time. So we're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. And actually, I'm going to show you something else too. I was just over, and let me see, where is it? Here we go. Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. I was just over there the other day, and look at the size of that pumpkin. I actually posted this picture on my Instagram at Prepper Nurse One on my Instagram, and what I said with the picture on Instagram, I said this man is 7 foot tall. He's not. He's like 5'5". But that's a big pumpkin. That's a real big pumpkin. But anyway, so first of all, Heavenly Hills Homestead. That is him, obviously. Go support him. Go check out his channel. Follow his journey with growing giant vegetables, trying to get state records. Very, very cool. There is Icky Can up in Canada. There is Angry Prepper. That is Jason down in New York City. We have Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy. There's Alaska Granny. We have Sean James with the Sean James channel and myself, Reliance, 2 different channels. Same guy, great information with his channel, master builder, awesome to watch him build and working on off-grid up there in Canada. There is Demcad. Love Demcad as well, real good guy, a lot of good information with his channel as well. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles, an interesting story. Makes you think, which is what we want, right? We want to have information that makes us think. There is Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast, giving you information out there. Definitely check them out as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star, that is Cody. A lot of good information on his channel. He's been around for quite a while, doing really, really well. There is Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily over in Europe, giving you information of what's going down over there. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra living up in Minnesota, living off grid. Nice young couple up there. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. Definitely check them out as well. Real good channel, good people. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. There is Green Greg's. You have Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. There's Gray Man Prepping. We have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. Great information on their channel. And so definitely show them some support as well. The Nomadic Movement, which is down in Panama. Nice young couple down there doing their thing. Very, very interesting to watch them. We have the Green Dream Project, which is out in Arizona. Another good channel. A lot of good information with their channel. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping up in Canada. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have, oh, didn't get him. You have the Needy Homesteader. There is Boss of the Swamp, another really good builder. A lot of good information on his channel. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a real smart guy. Definitely check him out. Give him some support over there. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Somebody, again, who says it like it is. I like that. I respect that. So I definitely like what she's doing. There is City Prepper. Hello. I have a dog right, like her face is right here in my lap. There is, let's see, where was I? We got City Prepper, Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. I like Mary Greeley as well, giving you all the latest updates with Yellowstone and everything that is going on there. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, gives back to the community in a big way, and he's very passionate about the weather. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. Says it like, he gives you the information, lets you decide what you want to do with it. He doesn't tell you what you need to think. He just gives you the information. There is Deep South Homestead, another very family-friendly oriented channel, and I would ask you to support them as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. East Tennessee Preparedness. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, and I know you guys put other channels that you like as well in the chat. What? Stop. No. Give me 10 minutes, girl. Give me 10 minutes. So, anyway, a lot of good information out there. I think we should definitely be checking out different channels. It's definitely better that way. So, there's people think differently. So I think it's good to look at different perspectives. So that's why I like to do the shout outs and those type of things. So anyway, what was I going to say? What do we got? 280. We need 20 more thumbs up, guys, to hit our goal of 300. You want to shut Prepper Nurse up about the thumbs up? Get the thumbs up there. Let's hit 300, and I won't ask for any more, I promise. So that's how it, once we've had it before where we went like crazy and it went way higher. But generally, when I say that I won't ask for more, I won't. So let's see if we can hit 300, and we will go from there. A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of stuff paying attention if you're watching this stuff, and it's like if it wasn't happening in real life, I wouldn't believe it. If somebody had told me it and said this is what it's going to turn into and this is what it's going to be, I'd be like, no way. But here we are, And so, in a sad thing, I think, you know, I talked to somebody today, and I was having this conversation, and with putting myself out on YouTube, does it make me a target? Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it makes you a target when you're putting yourself out there. You have some people will have bad intentions, and that's just the way it is. But like I said, when the time comes, we'll see, what happens. I'll just put it like that. I'm not making grandioso stands of this is the way it's going to be, or we never know. We never know. But I just, to me, it's like talk is cheap, actions speak louder than words. And, if it's going to happen and people are going to bring it, then bring it. And we'll see how it pans out at the end. Uh, you know, may do okay, may not. You never know. But, when people talk about targeting, people that are preparing, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I think, like I said again, we should be supporting each other. I would like if there was, let's say there was another group within 20-mile radius of where I'm at, and what you also have to understand down here, I'm an outsider, I'm not from here. I'm just another Yankee that moved down here to West Virginia, and I'm an outsider, and they don't like that a lot. Some don't. I shouldn't say. I've met some wonderful people. Excuse me. I've met some wonderful people, and Ed, you have to be careful talking about alternative medicine because YouTube has partnered with the World Health. Oh, I saw that too. Oh yeah, yep. No, yeah, absolutely. Um, I encourage people to do their own research. I don't tell them what to do or how to do it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so thank you for letting me know that, Brad. I do appreciate that. But no, I know what you're saying, and yeah, I'm aware. And that's another thing that I find sad. Is it coincidental? Again, I'm a question guy. I have lots of questions. Is it coincidental that so many homeopathic and those type of doctors that do alternative medicine, if you will, with nature, how many of them have killed themselves? Isn't that crazy? Find it interesting. I find it interesting. So, all right, we are 8 away, guys. 8 more thumbs up. Yeah, there's no coincidences. I agree with you 100% on that. So 8 more thumbs up, guys. Let's hit that goal of 300 thumbs up. So let's do this right now. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? In the good Legion, not the bad Legion. We have Franklin County, Ohio. We got Missouri with Brad in the house. Beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny. Dawn in the UP of Michigan. Santiago, Colombia. Oh, very cool. Glad to have you here. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Palaco, Idaho with Janita. We have Karen in Western New York. Joan in Leesburg, Florida. East Central Illinois with Lana. Missouri in the Ozarks with Delbert. Michelle in Detroit. Birdsboro, Pennsylvania with Melissa. Critter Lover in Virginia. Bad Country, Michigan with Pure Blood Prepper. Emil up in BC, Canada. Dallas, Texas is in the house. Somerset, Pennsylvania with Judy. Rolling Meadows in Illinois with Katrina. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Central New York with Village Homestead. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Pittsburgh, PA with Bobby Lou. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. That's still my favorite name. I don't care what anybody says. Bucks County, Pennsylvania with Earthwatcher. Newfoundland, Canada with that's Mar, isn't it? But this says Newfoundland Bayman. But anyway, Troy, North Carolina with Maverick. Campbell, Missouri with Antonio. Robert is in his kitchen. Congratulations, Robert. Get yourself something to eat. Uh, St. Clair County, Alabama with Keith. Madison, Minnesota's in the house. West Central Ohio with Dale. Uh, Cape Cod, Mass. South Central Kansas with the Scan family. So again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network of people. Miss Majestic in East Tennessee. We're the ones that are awake. You know, we can make a difference now. We can make definitely a difference after an event, because we will be educators and real educators after an event. Real educators then. So 298, guys. We need 2 more thumbs up to hit that 300 goal. So let's see if we can do that. That would be awesome. You know, I'm going to always encourage you guys to continue to prep. That's my number one goal. If you are not victims, that's important to me. I think that it's important. The more people that are ready and prepared, the less people that are going to be out there trying to take from other people. And there's going to be over 5K dead in Libya and over 2,000 with that earthquake. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I think it was like, I know there was over 5,000 dead, and I think there was like, 8,000 or something like that missing, or is it 2,000 missing? A lot of people, but not a good time. But anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, I appreciate what you do. It means a lot to me. And thank you very much for that. And it means, like I said, it does mean a lot. I want to thank all you guys for being here and being in the chat. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy these. You guys ask great questions, which is awesome. And I try to get to everybody's. I can't get to everybody's, but I try to do the best I can. So I appreciate all of that. And so we're 307. Look at that. So see, I won't ask for any more. But if you feel inclined, so we hit our goal. So that's cool. But just like I said, just keep your head on a swivel. Keep prepping. Keep taking care of your business, because we just don't know. We just don't know, and that's probably the scariest thing of all. The waiting. We were having a group chat. We have the group chat for the group, and people were like, man, people are on edge, and you can see it, you can feel it, and you're just like waiting for something to pop off. And I do believe it's either going to be something like that, or it's going to be something that is planned, and they roll out the next thing. And nothing would surprise me, to be honest with you. Nothing would surprise me. And all we can do is the best we can, be as prepared the best that we can, and deal with that at that time. I want you guys to remember we truly are all in this together, that we are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we truly will be in much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. The powers that be, the people that are in control, if they can keep us fighting amongst ourselves over race, religion, political affiliation, they're winning. They're always going to win, and that's what they want. They want to keep. If we come together, folks, that would terrify them. That would terrify them. So, very, very scary. But also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and you stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. All right? Just set those realistic goals and then set about to making them happen. It's simple. And they don't want you to do that either. They just don't. But anyway, guys, be safe. Keep prepping. I will see you all on the next one. Just take care of your business, okay? Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.